Hi there. Last week I was really shocked when I realised that I have never made a Battenberg cake. I couldn't believe it, especially as it's so gorgeous, almondy and pink. That's all changed now. And here is my Battenberg tutorial. I hope you like it. In order to make our Battenberg sponge, we're going to do one mix and then we're going to divide it and colour one half. The first thing we have to do is put 170 grams of unsalted butter into the bowl of a stand mixer, followed by 170 grams of caster sugar. We're going to cream those two together until they're light and fluffy. Once the eggs are nicely mixed in, we're going to add all the dry ingredients and some almond extract. 130 grams of self-raising flour, 60 grams of gorgeous ground almonds, half a teaspoon of baking powder, and the most unbelievable almond extract. Oh, a teaspoon of that. Now I'm going to mix it until it's smooth. Take as much batter as you can off your spatula. Resist the temptation to lick it. It's really important for a Battenberg that the sides are even, so I'm now going to weigh my mixture and then divide it equally in half. The mixture weighs 650 grams, so that's 325 grams will stay in this bowl and 325 grams will go into this bowl. Now it's time to colour your Battenberg. Traditionally, Battenberg is coloured like a pale pink. I'm obviously going to use a bright pink because I adore the colour pink, but you can do any colour you want. Pop the food colouring in and mix it to combine. Our two batters are ready, and now it's time to get the tin prepared. This is a traditional Battenberg tin, which you can buy from Amazon or specialist baking supply shops. I'm not going to use this today because most people don't have a Battenberg tin, so I'm going to show you how to do it in a normal tin. Oil. We're going to spray our tin with a little bit of oil. Grab yourself a strip of foil and double it over and fold it so that it's quite firm, so it's going to separate our two batters. And we're going to pop it in the middle. On one side we're going to put the pink batter, and on the other side we're going to put the white batter. Gently even it out with a spatula. If you just hold on to the silver foil to make sure it doesn't move, make sure it gets into all the sides like that, and try and even it out as much as you possibly can. Now I'm going to bake this in the oven on 180 degrees or 160 degrees fan for around 15 to 20 minutes until the skewer comes out clean. This has now come out of the oven and it's time to take it out of the pan and leave it to cool completely on a wire rack. The easiest way to get your cake out of a loose bottom tin is to grab a can from your store cupboard, any can you like, pick up your tin and pop it on top of the can and very gently take off the cake like this. And now with the cake lifter, very gently put it under the cake and slide it off onto your cooling rack, like so. It's now time to separate the cakes, which should be quite easy because you've got your silver foil there. So it's going to very gently separate them, and voila, you have a pink side and you have a white side. Our sponges are completely cooled and now it's time to build our Battenberg. I've taken 150 grams of apricot jam and heated it up in the microwave, and then I passed it through a sieve to get rid of any chunks. What you want is a nice smooth jam, and this is going to act as the glue to stick our cakes together and our marzipan on top of it. Right, grab your cakes and pop them down on the board, and we're going to cut each cake in half. What we need to do is put one pink on top of a white, and on the other side a pink at the bottom and a white at the top, like so. Trim off any edges if you feel like you need to. Let's trim a little bit off of each edge. Feel free to nibble any bits that you take off. Grab your jam, and we're going to put some jam on the inside of one piece all the way along the edge like this. Then we're going to stick it to the other one. Now with the pink piece on top of the white piece, we're going to put jam on the underside and on the inside again. So this will stick to the white one, but also to its friend on the other side. So pick this one up and just put some jam on the bottom of him, and then we're going to stick it down to the pink one. Now all the sides are stuck together with beautiful apricot jam. I'm now going to carefully pick it up and put it back on the cooling rack because I need to roll out my marzipan. So I've grabbed some marzipan. This actually comes from a block of marzipan. If you want to, you can make your own marzipan. You can buy ready rolled marzipan. Today I'm going to roll my own. You need to roll it out so it wraps around the whole cake. I've measured my cake, the sides and the length and the top, and it's working out at around 31 centimetres by 18 centimetres. So let's get rolling. This is icing sugar, which is the best thing to put down on your board to stop your marzipan from sticking. You certainly don't want to use flour because it'll make it taste horrible. Try and get your marzipan as even as possible. Okay. See what's going on here. Probably want your marzipan to be around the thickness of a £1 coin. It might be a bit too sickly if it's any thicker than that. That's nicely rolled out. I'm just cutting off any huge excess using a ruler and a pizza slicer. You can use this marzipan another time if you roll it up and seal it. Now I've cut off the excess, I'm going to use my ruler and my pizza cutter to make a rectangle 18.5 by 31 centimetres. Using a rolling pin, I'm going to roll my marzipan over it and just take off any excess icing sugar from the marzipan. Be gentle, you don't want to break your marzipan as you're doing it. Take your jam again and give a really nice apricot coating onto the top of your marzipan. Take it all the way to the edges. And this is basically the glue. Because we want the seal of our Battenberg cake to be at the bottom, I now have to carefully pick up the cake and turn it over and pop it straight into the middle of the marzipan here, and then we're going to wrap it up. Carefully, we're going to take the side up, flip it over, and then we're going to grab this one, pull it up and over until it touches. Now I'm flipping it over, back onto its front, and with dry hands, pat it down so it becomes nice and snug. Now all that's left to do is trim off any excess marzipan and make a little pattern on the top. To finish off my Battenberg cake, I'm going to add a little crisscross decoration on the top. But if you don't want to, then it's perfectly fine. Your cake is ready to eat. I'm using a dough scraper to put little indentations on the top of mine. You can use a ruler or a knife to score it, but just don't go through the marzipan. I really hope you enjoyed my tutorial on Battenberg cake, and I'll see you next time. Bye!